We're live on a Thursday at noon. Hi, everyone. Welcome to another Powerhouse webinar. So excited for today's webinar. It's going to be off the chain. Got my notebook and pen ready. Vic and I are pumped and jazzed. Look at that. Ready to rock and roll. We like to just jump right in for all of you people who are here nice and early and on time. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Dani Kagan. I am one of the co-founders of City Moguls, joined by my better half.
Some days. Today, I think today I'm the better half. Hi guys, I'm Victoria Marshman. Welcome. I know we have a lot of guests here, which is super exciting. So we're so happy to have you here. For those of you who this is your first time, welcome to City Moguls. We are a platform that celebrates, connects, and educates entrepreneurs in hopes to inspire the next generation of great leaders. Welcome.
This is all very true. Today's Powerhouse webinar is powered by our exclusive bank partner, CIBC. So thank you to them for powering today's chat. Want to welcome some of our Mogul members who are accessing today's chat as a part of their annual membership. If you want to learn more about getting involved in the community, being a part of the membership, feel free to book a meeting with me or Victoria, Dani at citymoguls.com or Victoria at citymoguls.com. Hit us up for a chat. We'd love to talk about all the stuff that we are doing here in the City Moguls world. If this is your first City Moguls event, welcome to our fabulous community. Bear with us today a little bit because we are still using this new platform, Hopin, which is very cool and fresh, but it is new to us, so bear with us. You can use the chat function, so feel free on the right-hand side of your screen to use the chat to ask Avi anything. You know, we're pretty casual here. This is a safe and respectful space. If you need to kind of ask something that you think is a bit wild or outrageous or not outrageous enough, this is the time to do it. We want you to walk away with a lot of value today, a lot more knowledge. And yeah, that's the goal of all of these webinars and workshops that we do. So Victoria will monitor the chat. Even if Avi's in the middle of his talk, you can also just plop your question in there. We will get to it at the end for the Q&A. So I will pass it to you, Vic, to introduce the man of the hour.
Yeah, you know, it's so funny, guys, because this is just the power of networking and building your connections. I sent Avi like a fan message on LinkedIn like 4 months ago. I was like, I love what you're doing. I'm so intrigued. And lo and behold, we're here. We have him here for you guys to share all of his knowledge. So I'm just so excited for this. And I really feel you guys are going to get a ton of value out of this hour. So let me just share a bit more about Avi, and then we're going to pass it over to the expert himself to really dive deep into everything we're going to be talking about today. So Avi is a Canadian entrepreneur, digital marketer, and speaker. He is the founder and CEO of Variance Marketing, a Toronto-based full-service marketing agency. Avi has been featured in Entrepreneur Magazine, Yahoo Finance, Chicago Tribune, and other top-tier publications for his work in strategizing sales and marketing campaigns for brands. He's big on empowering his team and other entrepreneurs and major brands by equipping them with the strategies necessary to reach the masses, which is what we're all trying to do. We're all trying to do the same stuff. He has spoken about marketing, media, branding, and public relations to audiences across the world, even as far as Australia. That was the worst accent. I'm sorry.
I love that, Australia.
So today, guys, he's going to be diving into everything you need to know about building leads and getting sales as a service-based entrepreneur. It is tough out there. This is a fine art. I really think this hour is going to transform the way you think about things. So over to you, Avi.
Here he comes.
Hello, everyone. So thank you so much, Victoria, and appreciate the little intro going on there. So today's session, guys, is absolutely jam-packed, okay? It's going to be, like, first and foremost, I'm big on low-cost lead generation strategies. So this is not something that we're going to say, okay, guys, pull out your checkbook, pull out your credit cards, we're starting to spend $20,000 a month. Like, no, we're going to reduce the amount of money we spend because there's only two things you have control over in your life, okay? The first one is your time, and the second one is your money. Now, if you don't have money, then what do you have left? You have time, right? So that's what we're going to focus on today. We're going to focus on utilizing your time to drive more appointments, more sales, more leads, and more business, okay? So without further ado, I'm going to share my screen now. You guys are going to be able to see exactly what I have in store. So let's jump in, okay? And if there's any questions, obviously, at any moment, please go ahead and leave your question there. I'm big on answering the actual questions because that's you seeing the content and then asking me a question about how to apply that content to your life. Now, hey, that is the most important thing. Like, how are you going to get the most value? By actually applying what you're learning today to your real life, okay? So feel free to ask those questions at any moment. We'll get to them later. For the sake of this presentation, okay? So we are going to go over how to generate sales qualified leads with minimal effort and money, okay? So there's two types of leads that exist. There's MQLs, which are marketing qualified leads. And then there's SQLs, which are sales qualified leads, okay? So we're gonna focus on driving SQLs today. MQLs, there's a whole other strategy for that later, but for the sake of you guys getting more sales under your belt, you need to drive SQLs, okay? Sales qualified leads. So we're gonna do so with as little money as possible, okay? So let me tell you a little bit about my path, where I've gone in life and how I've gotten to this point. So I was born in a 2-bedroom apartment with my mom and my brother. My dad passed away when I was 2 years old. So we were kind of in this not well-off situation. So I was, throughout high school, I went to Chat, which is like a really good private school that costs a lot of money. My mom was paying an arm and a leg to put us through that schooling so we can not only meet the best people, but also learn the best education. And so that was great. So I worked really hard in high school to get good grades so I can get into a top business school. I applied to Schulich, Ivy, Laurier, a few other places. I ended up getting into Schulich. It was the most low-cost one as well, so that's why I chose it. And then I went there for 2 years, ended up working for a few firms such as CIBC, Questrade, and a few other things, and then got an offer to work for IBM. Now, this wasn't a normal offer, like a 4-month internship like normal business students are used to. This was a 16-month opportunity for me to quite literally take a year off school so that I can go pursue like my career in finance. I get to get my feet wet, let's just say, for 16 months straight. And I had to petition my degree at school and get a year off to do this, right? So I went ahead and did that. I got that year off. I got that approved. I ended up working at IBM. It was great for about 8 months, okay? After 8 months, I started feeling like a robot. I was doing redundant work. I was doing the same crap every single day, same spreadsheets. It was the most unfulfilling thing you can imagine. I was like an ant in an anthill. My decisions didn't make sense. They didn't matter. They didn't matter in the long haul, right? So I felt really unfulfilled. I started asking my manager, hey, can you please give me some more work, right? Because I am a year behind now for my peers, and I need to make sure that I'm learning and I'm generating more money and all these things, right? He tried to do that. He tried to give me good work and all this stuff, but it was the same crap. So at the end of the day, I ended up saying, you know what? I'm going to start my first business. I'm going to take control in my own hands, and I'm going to start my valet parking business, okay? So I started Vinici Valet, which was basically a valet parking business. We scaled that to 35 valet drivers working for us within about 8 months. So it was a crazy, crazy ride that I had to learn my first time doing, anything entrepreneurial. So what I was doing was I was sending cold emails to like wedding planners, sending cold emails to event planners, corporate planners. I was cold calling restaurants. I was cold calling hotel chains and all these things. And I was getting these meetings, and I was essentially taking those meetings, closing them with my business partner at the time, and then staffing the service, getting the valet drivers to be there on hand at the event. And so we did events and we did recurring valet, which was more like every day you have 2 shifts at this one venue, right? So we had recurring contracts, and then we had one-time events such as weddings and corporate events. So it was a good business. In the process of building Vinici, I learned how to do marketing. So we actually had to be on the first page of Google when you search valet parking services Toronto. Vinici at the time was there, and we were getting lots of good results through that. And we're getting lots of RFPs and clients reaching out to us. And then what happened was that I realized I'm learning a lot about marketing in the process. Now, Vinici Valet, that's a crazy business because now I have to be, every single time I have to be at the events. I have to be making sure my drivers are not crashing cars, making sure our insurance liability is not increasing, right? Like I had to be like making sure there was quality control and making sure there was no damages, right? And figuring out the logistics every time. It was such a physical business, right? So the idea of learning about marketing in developing the valet business was crazy to me, because I was like, holy shit, I can work from home. I can fly to Italy. I can connect to Wi-Fi, and I can literally service people on their marketing. So, and what was crazy was I didn't even think about starting a marketing agency until one of our clients for the valet business, she was doing a quarterly real estate trade show. So she was running this trade show every quarter, and she reached out to us saying, hey, can you guys manage our Instagram? And at the time I was like, wait, what? Manage your Instagram? I've never gotten an outlandish request like that in my entire life, right? So a big light bulb sort of popped up on the top of my head, and I realized, like, hey, why don't I start a marketing agency and start charging this client, right? So that's what I did. So I erected Variance Marketing the next day after I got that request, and then told them that I had another business, in which case we can run the marketing, run their Instagram. And so that's when I fully started committing to marketing. It became a passion of mine. I fully was running Vinici and Variance out of the same office at the time. And I had to go back to school that following September because it was only 16 months off. So all of this was happening within that 16-month phase that I had off, right? So since then, I'm going to fast forward a lot of this stuff because my path is less relevant to generating you guys leads. So I'll wrap this up by saying that I ended up going back to school. I ended up selling Vinici Valet because I wasn't able to run two businesses and go to school full-time at one of the best business schools in Canada. It was just impossible. I'm not a superhero. I can't do that, right? So I asked myself, which one am I going to sell? Which one am I more passionate about? I wanted the Variance Marketing because I wanted to be able to connect to Wi-Fi and still run my business and not have to be physical with it, right? Vinici Valet, that was also another startup that, cars are going to park themselves in 10 years. So why would I even consider building a business for the next 10 years and then boom, I go bankrupt, right? So I was just like immediately like, okay, we're going with one of these and we're going with Variance. And that was the decision I made. Since then, we've scaled Variance to a pretty decent point. Our work has been featured in Yahoo Finance, Entrepreneur Magazine, TEDx, lots of other publications. These are some of the clients we've worked with. So we do have a staff base of 26 team members for Variance now. I'm 24 years old. So I graduated school last year in October 2019. And since then, we've scaled the team to 26 team members, servicing clients across North America. So when it comes to sales and and I'll tell you something straight up, there is no other thing I can attribute the success of our businesses to other than me focusing on what really matters, which is revenue generating activities. Okay, so we'll talk about that in a minute. But in terms of the clients we've worked with, you can see that there's a lot of different logos here, and you can see large scale companies, enterprise companies, you can see small scale SMBs, small to medium sized companies, right? So we're not going to force you, if you're not an enterprise, to work with us, for example, right? So the idea is that we kind of are open to all projects, and if we feel like we truly can help the client, we'll take on the project. If we feel like we can't because we've never done it before, or there's any kind of issues with that, we never take on the client. That's just number one, because that's why, that's precisely why we have over 150 reviews on Facebook and Google, right? So we have 4.9 on Google, 5.0 on Facebook. And it's because we only take on clients we know we can help based on the lead generation and marketing activities that we know we can execute on, right? So as well, guys, this kind of ties into the entire plan now. Okay, now that you know a little bit about me, that's great and all, but that's not necessarily what we're here for. We're here to help you guys to talk about how we can generate more money, more revenue, more leads, SQLs, sales qualified leads, more appointments on your calendar, and then taking those appointments and closing them as clients, okay? So this doesn't necessarily apply to let's just say e-commerce businesses, unless you're doing wholesale orders and you're trying to drive wholesale orders, people buying big order quantities, B2B style, right? So that's a phone call you'd have to jump on and you have to close that deal. So I just want to pre-frame this, that this is just for service businesses. So that could apply to dentists, that could apply to accountants, that could apply to realtors, that could apply to mortgage agents, that could apply to consultants, marketers, photographers, video, anyone offering a service, whether it's physical or digital. You could be a plumber, you could be, an advertiser. It doesn't matter. If you offer a service and your sales process is driving more appointments so you can close deals and then take those deals and then turn them to customers, this is the only thing that matters to you. The next 30 minutes or so is the only thing that matters to you, okay? So pay very close attention, because this is strategies that I do on a daily basis. I started doing them myself, and then I offloaded those activities to cheap labor that I'm also going to show you how to offload these lead generation activities to cheap people, okay, that you can find offshore that are really good, well English speakers that can take care of running your lead gen for you. Okay. Once you've set it up yourself, then the next step is to offload it. Okay. So before we get into it, the number one thing you guys need to realize is so many entrepreneurs, they're focused on so many things that don't actually matter, right? What matters in business? Let's talk about that for a second. What matters in business is money in the door, because then when you have money in the door, you can then go take that money and support your expenses for your business, such as your software costs, such as your hires, such as your labor, such as anything you need to deliver on the service, right? So the number one thing is getting the revenue in the door. In a tribe, we were back in the day where we were like, I don't know, all with our spears and the hunters and gatherers in the tribe, right? You know, you have your berry gatherers, you have your shelter, people that build the shelters, you have the people starting the fires, and then you have the hunters going out there with their spears. And trust me, this is obviously not, this example is not for vegans, but you have the guys with the spears going out there hunting the animals, bringing the meat home so that the rest of the tribe can eat, right? So that's the idea. You guys are the CEOs. You guys are the founders of your company. You guys are there with the spear. If you don't bring the meat home, there's no one else eating, okay? So there's no business that exists because there's no meat coming home, right? You have to feed the workers so that the workers can go build the shelter, so that the workers can go build the fires, etc., right? So I like to use that example. Listen, it's not a vegan-friendly example, but hey, that's okay, right? So anyways, revenue generating activities is the number one thing. Now, how should your lead gen system look? Okay, what is this overall funnel schematic going to look like? Okay, so your goal, lead generation philosophy, is always that more outflow equals more inflow. Now that's very logical, right? If I reach out to people 500 times a day and I do it every day and I have a 1% success rate on those outreaches, those outflows that I'm doing. Now, those outflows could be cold calls, those outflows could be cold emails, those outflows could be LinkedIn messages, those outflows could be advertisements, those outflows could be, door knocking, right? An outflow is essentially you getting your message and your offer in front of your target audience. That's what an outflow is, okay? So the more outflows you do, the more inflows you're gonna get. And inflows are appointments, right? Inflows are appointments. Inflow is also revenue, right? So the more outflow you do, the more inflow you get. So a lot of people wait for referrals to come to them, but that's not the way to get predictable revenue. You can, like lots of accountants I know, their whole business is based on referral, which I understand. Like lots of businesses are great based on referral. That's great. Keep the referrals coming. We get lots of referrals internally as well. But if you don't have a predictable system to reach out to clients and get them buying, your business is not going to be successful. It's just not going to grow to the point you want it to get to. And we're talking like large companies here. We don't want to make small companies. We want larger ones, right? So in terms of the funnel schematic, you need to be reaching out as many times as possible. You need to have not only volume in the amount of outflow you're doing, but you need to have consistency as well, right? So every day you must do these outflows, and you must do the same amount of outflows per day. It could be anywhere between 100 outflows a day to 400 outflows a day, but you need to do all of them every day, and you need to do as much volume as you can, okay? So now how the funnel schematic works is you're trying to build awareness, okay, with these outflows, right? You're driving the outflows. You're going out to the marketplace. You're saying, here's an outflow to get the awareness, but now what you want is you want inflow. You want people opting in. You want people showing interest. You want people getting closer to the decision. But the only way they'll get there is by you doing the initial outflow and building the awareness around what you offer. Now, lots of people will be aware, but they won't be interested, right? So you cut your losses there. That's why the funnel is going shorter and shorter, because more people come in at the top, less people come out at the bottom in terms of actual purchases, right? So your goal is to have 100 to 400 outflows at the top coming into the funnel. Once it comes into the funnel, obviously not all those people you're reaching out to will be interested. You're going to get, for every 100 no's, you're going to get one yes, right? 1% success, 1 to 2% success on your outflows is what you're going to get. So really, the idea is this: the funnel gets shorter for that reason, because more people are aware, less people are interested, even less people are trying to make a decision based on the fact that you've nurtured them and got them to a position where they understand your service and its benefits, and all the social proof around your claim that you're backing up. That's done in the decision phase. So less people hit there, and then even less people get to the action stage where they make a purchase based on a phone call you had with them, giving them an offer they can't refuse, right? So we'll talk about sales methodology later, but this is hyper focused on lead generation, this call. So awareness, that's outflows. Interest, that's the opt-in. Decision, that's call booked. And then action is the purchase. So that's the overall bird's eye. Okay, I want to make sure we have enough time here. So in terms of the sales flywheel, this is your overall understanding of how this works. So you start with outflows, and this is you getting the awareness. Now you're trying to book sales appointments. Once you book those sales appointments, you need to turn them to customers. Now that's done through follow-up and a few other things, but you turn them to customers. After they become customers, you must turn them to case studies, right? Because the whole point is to make your lead gen more effective and more effective and more effective, as if you're throwing a snowball down a hill, right? And that snowball is growing and growing and getting bigger as it's growing down the hill. Why? Because you've beefed up your outflows, right? You started with your outflows. You then got sales appointments. You took those sales appointments, turned them to customers. You got those customers, and you made sure they had a valid service. You gave them a good solution. Because of you, they achieved X result, right? So now you need to package that result and that experience into a case study. And then when you take that case study, you're now going to put that case study in your outflows so that those outflows start performing better. So now you're booking more sales appointments, and now you're getting more customers, and then you're getting more case studies, and then you keep putting those case studies in your outflows, and then now you're getting even more, right? So it just keeps going, okay? So that's the funnel sort of overview. In terms of our internal sales process, okay, what we do to get clients, this is exactly what we're doing, precisely, and we get lots of clients, and here's how it works. So it's a 10-step sales process. So we start with number one, which is the 100 to 400 outflows a day. Now here, you can do cold calling, you can do cold emailing, you can do LinkedIn messaging, you can do Facebook prospecting. I'm gonna go through all of these today, okay? And more. So there's one additional one that I'm gonna go over as well, should we have time. But then number two is, once you do these outflows, you have to book sales meetings on your calendar link, okay? So you're gonna prep a calendar link. You can use softwares like Calendly, like HubSpot, where you have a calendar meeting link, and you can send that meeting link to people hundreds of times per day with an offer. And then if they're interested in that offer, they'll schedule that call themselves, right? So you're not necessarily going out there and booking calls with people. They're booking with you. That's what I love about this process, right? Now for cold calling, that's different, but all the other ones listed there under the outflows section, right here, the cold calling one is the only one where you're booking calls with them. Number 2, 3, and 4 are the ones where they're booking calls with you, and I'll show you exactly how that works. Number 3 is, after you book the sales call, you must have a 2% success rate, booking rate on your outflow. So 100 a day, that means 2 appointments a day. If you're doing 100 outflows a day, if you're doing 400 outflows a day, you need 2% success on that as well, right? And then after you get the appointments, you then run the prospect through a demo. Now a demo is like a slide deck. It's like a slide deck that you've prepared that talks about your strategy, talks about what you do, in which case you run them through a demo, but you must record the demo. That's number one. Always record the experience, always record the conversation, so that you can send, after the demo, you can send a contract to that person, and then also make sure that they have the recording of the conversation as well, so that in case they want to share that recording with any parties, any partners to make the decision around working with you, they have the contract, they have the demo slides, and they also have the recording, okay, of the call, which is so important. Now you're going to make an attempt on the demo to call them. That's the number one thing. You're going to make an attempt on the demo to call them. You need to have a good demo slides that has all your pricing, has all your case studies, all your previous social proof, what your program looks like, a little bit about you, all those things. And then you're going to make an attempt to close them on the call. Now, if that doesn't, and the way you do that is by offering them a same day discount. So let's say you get them on the call. You say, okay, let me put you on hold. You put them on hold, and you say you get approval from your manager to get them a same day discount, right? So you can slash 15%, 20% off the top of whatever you're charging if they pay today. Okay, so prospect, I just got off the phone with my manager, Avi, and he told me we have the go-ahead to give you the 15% off, but the only catch is that you sign today, right? So you make that attempt on the demo. Once that attempt was made, then you can explain the next steps, right? So you can explain what happens after that. So you're going to fill out an onboarding questionnaire. Then the prospect's going to go and do a kickoff call. So you have to explain what happens after the point of sale, because people are always wondering what's next, what's next, what's next, right? So to get the sale, you must talk about what happens after the sale. And you must also position your product or service as the only way to get from their current state, which is they need help, to their desired state, which is they have money, or they have better photography, or they have better tax savings, or they have better teeth that are whiter, whatever your service may be, right? So your goal is to position your sale as current state, desired state, and then here's your service. The only way to get from here to here is by going through your service. Make sense? So that's what you need to position on the call. Now, if they close, great, they become a client, send them the onboarding questionnaire and all those things, package it as a case study and leverage those case studies to drive more leads. If they don't become customers right on the first call, then what you need to do is schedule what's called a contract review session, in which case it's another call that you're booking with them. That's 24 to 48 hours from the first call. And that's just a follow-up call to get a decision made on that call, right? And then what we also do is we'll enroll our prospects through a follow-up sequence to get them to close. If they still don't close, we follow up via phone call for 2 weeks. If they still don't close, then we just leave the lead. Done, right? On to the next, right? So lead gen is all about cycling as many people as possible through a pipeline. That is the number one thing. You're getting as much awareness and as much customers as possible, but you don't think about one customer the whole time. You're not sitting here trying to close one deal. You're sitting here trying to close 15 deals because your pipeline is full of leads, right? That is the number one thing. Your pipeline must be full of leads. You must be having new conversations. Outflows can never stop because you need to have a full pipeline. If you're focusing on closing one deal, trust me, that deal has a 20, 30% chance of close. You're literally wasting your time. Now, if you had 7 deals that could close and you're focusing on 7 deals, 2 will close easy, right? 3 will close easy, right? Boom, you're good, right? So that's the idea. Have a pipeline that's full. Now what I want to do is get into the first daily outflow strategy, okay? LinkedIn outreach. Let's talk about this. So I'm going to exit this here, pop open my favorite software, okay? They used to be called Growth Lead. Now they're called Sales Flow. I'm going to show you exactly what I'm doing here. So we have a campaign here, okay? I'm going to first show you, let me actually just pop open a few things here. I'm going to pop open LinkedIn real quick so you see exactly how this is even working before I show you how to get it done. And this is low cost, right? You're going to need to pay for Sales Navigator. So Sales Navigator is essentially LinkedIn Premium. So you have to pay for LinkedIn Premium. So let me show you guys on a daily basis how many outflows I'm doing. So check this out. So unread, if I go to my unread messages, I literally have so many unread messages over the last day or two that I have to go through because my LinkedIn is currently being automated 100 times a day, passively targeting CEOs and key decision makers, okay? So I don't have to do this. I'm not sending this. I use Salesflow to get the automation going. So we'll get there in a second, but let's just go through some of these, right? You're gonna get, for every 100 no's, you guys are gonna get 1 yes. Don't ever forget that. So for example, this guy's pitching me. This guy says no. This guy says no. This girl says no. Or she says, I've been with this other company for 25 years, so wish us luck. Okay, great. No. Boom. Happy to hear. What's your process and pricing? So here's what I do. I'll go to my stickies. I'll grab a message template here, and then I will literally send them a message template saying, hi, first name. So I say, Elon, I switch that with Elon. Hi, Elon, thanks for your reply. Let's get a call booked in so that we can discuss our process in detail and see if we're a good fit. So that we can eliminate back and forth, kindly schedule a meeting here. Here's my meeting link, right? Once you book it, I'll send you over a Google invite so that we have it on the calendar. Does that work for you? Now he's thinking that I'm sending this to him as a custom message, but I'm not. It's all automated, right? The first message he received was this. Look, first message he got. Hi, Elon, great to connect. I was just checking out your profile and found it interesting, so I thought I'd reach out. Just to quickly introduce myself, we use a simple 5-step process. Would this be of value or interest to your business? I want to help you with your revenue. Please book here. If not, I'm still glad we connected. I look forward to following your success on LinkedIn. Avi, right? Happy to hear what's your process and pricing. All I do is send this to reiterate for him to schedule himself in on my calendar. And that's what this looks like, right? They go here and they can schedule that call. And it says, kindly schedule a time that works for you using the booking tool below. So he'll literally pick a day and a time that makes sense for him, okay? And then that's a calendar appointment. So if I go to my calendar next, that would appear as an appointment on my calendar, which is nice. So then I go ahead and I close the deal, or one of my sales reps will close the deal. But bottom line, that appears on my calendar through what's called a meeting link. So now he already said, hey, I'm going to skip his stuff. I'm going to keep going to show you that there's lots of no's. There's tons of no's, but for every 100 no's, you get 1 yes. Okay, so look, hold on one sec. Let me just,
Avi, I have to interrupt you because Elon is on this call.
What's that, sorry?
Elon is a community
member. Oh
member.
my God, that is crazy. No way. Hello, Elon, my friend.
So hopefully he's on the call now, hopefully.
Now you have to book the call. Okay, great. All right. So I look forward to chatting, buddy. Okay, so that's good. All right. So there's more, right? So Elon, I'm sorry that you think that was a specialized message, and I'm so happy that I get to tell you that it wasn't, and that it's a strict way to drive leads on a consistent basis that you can leverage, and I'm going to show you how to. I'm not going to go through the rest of these. This guy's saying, look, I'd love to have a conversation with you, blah, blah, blah. Like, you literally can just go through these all. If you can get qualified accredited investors for our offering, we can talk a deal. So let's go. Boom. Let me type that in again. And let me say, hey, Mark, right? Boom. Now Mark and Elon are going to book me. Boom. Same message. They think it's candid. They think it's them. I'm going to stop this now because you guys understand this, right? Everyone understands the LinkedIn lead gen thing. Now, this is just for one day. I'm checking my LinkedIn every day for these new messages. So every day I come into my inbox, I literally go here, I check unread, and I see what I have as unread. And then I go through my unreads every morning, right? And I'm not going to go through these now because I'll do that after the call and actually go ahead and book these people in. But the idea is that you need to use sales flow, AKA previously called growth lead. So here's how this works. So you build a connection request. So for example, this is one of our clients, Peter Lemon. Let me just go to my account right here, okay? So this is my connection request. So I'm sending out a connection request 100 times a day saying, hi, first name, great to connect. I was just checking out your profile and found it interesting, so I thought I'd reach out. That's generic, right? All we want with the connection request is for these people to click accept, okay? If they click accept, boom, then I send them the next message, which is the one I already showed you. It says, I'd be interested to discuss your sales process, how we can make it more efficient using our 5-step process, right? So once they accept the connection request, then they get hit with the autoresponder. So that's this message. So it says, hi, first name, great to connect. I was just checking out your profile, found it interesting. I'm Avi, and I help business owners get 10 to 30 new sales appointments every week with qualified decision makers without spending a dime on advertising, call centers, or complex campaigns. We use a simple 5-step process to get you your sales appointments within the first few days of launch. First, we optimize your sales process. Then we flood your calendar with sales appointments. So if you're a dentist, you might want to say something like, hey, I'll get you 10 times whiter teeth in 30 days using my 4-point whitening system. If you're an accountant, you might say, hey, I'll save you 25% on your taxes within 6 days or within 6 months on your first return, your first corporate return, using my 9-point bookkeeping system, right? So you can see that all these offers are the same. It's, I want to get you this outcome, okay, in this time frame, okay, using this method, right? So I want to get you 25% more tax savings, okay, in 6 months, okay, using my 9-point bookkeeping system. I want to get you 10 times whiter teeth, okay, in 30 days using my 10-point whitening system. Okay, makes sense? That is how you structure your offer. That is how you will structure this on LinkedIn. And then the second thing I do here is I have a follow-up message, right? So I say, hi, first name. I want to show you our 5-step sales process. So let's just say, let's use Elon as the example. If Elon didn't respond, okay, and didn't message me back, you know, he would have automatically received this follow-up saying, Elon, I want to show you our simple 5-step sales process to get you your sales appointments within the first few days of launch, as mentioned, right? First, we optimize your sales process. Then we flood your calendar with sales appointments. Very simple. I have tons of success stories and references for you. I know you'll love my strategy. Please go ahead and schedule with me here, okay? Now, the automation will keep going until someone responds. Once they respond, then they're out of the automation. Now it's your job to check your LinkedIn account to actually go ahead and book those people in manually. Make sense? Okay. So now in terms of the actual campaign and how to launch that, you go here. This is the campaign I'm running right now. So these are all the people that it's targeting. It's targeting CEOs, right? CEO, president, right? I'm the type of guy where I work with businesses. I work with CEOs. I work with co-founders. I work with, you know, people trying to scale their companies. So that's exactly my target. Now, you might have a different one. You might be targeting real estate agents if you're a mortgage broker and you want to have more referral partnerships with realtors, right? Like, your target is your target, but here's how this works. So you go to settings in the campaign, you attach the connection request message that you just created over here under connection messages. These are your intervals. So save these numbers. You must have 80 to 100 connection requests per day. You must have 80 to 100 autoresponder messages per day. You must have 40 to 50 open in-mail messages per day. You must run it 24/7 because remember, consistency and volume is the key to lead gen, okay? So there's no days off. Like, this runs always, okay? And then you're running from 10 to 5 during business hours, so that way LinkedIn doesn't think you're like some robot at 3 a.m. And then you're running the campaign every 3 hours like a normal person would do. They don't log into LinkedIn every 5 minutes, right? So what you want to do is after adding your connection request, then you want to add your responders. So you can add your offer message 1 day later, for example, and save that. I'm not going to do that because I've already done that. 1 day after the connection sent, they get the offer message. 1 day after the offer message, they get the follow-up message. And I made those both in the autoresponder section, okay? And then in-mails as well. So I can make an in-mail here, open in-mails, and I wrote it's the same message, just as an in-mail format. And then look, I literally, if I go to my global dashboard, I'm literally running this for lots of clients. These are like just a few of our clients. I'm not going to go through all of them, but for example, even mine, right? Like look how many replies I'm getting every day. Every day I get 7 replies, 10 replies, 6 replies, 5 replies. And mine is not even optimized as much as these guys. Like Ryan's one of my sales reps, for example. So he's getting like, he's sending out 90 invites a day, for which he's getting like 13 replies, 14 replies, 13, like the replies are the number one thing. Because you're going to get 2 types of leads here. You're going to get people that read the message. For example, let's go back to Elon. I'm just going to go ahead and use you as an example. Hope you don't care as much. But the idea is this: if I send you this message, there's a link here, right? So at any moment, you don't even need to respond, Elon. You could literally just book me right away and schedule an appointment with me right away. And that's called a level 1 lead, okay? Now, there's level 1 leads and there's level 2 leads. A level 1 lead is someone who didn't respond to me on LinkedIn, but rather they just clicked this and they just booked it in without telling me, right? Now, Elon, you're a level 2 lead because you didn't click me right away and book me. You went in and you said, hey, I'm happy to discuss. Or you could have said, hey, Avi, happy to discuss. Here's my phone number. Call me on Tuesday, right? So I have to book you in again. Now, if you would have given me your email and your name and your number, I could have gone on my own meeting link and booked you in myself without you having to do that, because now I have all the details, like phone number, email address, right, website URL. I could fill these details and confirm it myself. You'll get a Google invitation. But we never had that discussion. You just said, what's your process and pricing? So I said, okay, let's get a call book, right? So we can discuss that, right? And so that's the process. Remember, guys, you always need to push people to jump on the call. Now I'm spending way too much time on the LinkedIn stuff. So let's move on because there's a few more strategies we got to go through here. So now daily outflow number 2, okay? Cold emails, okay? Let's talk about this. It's one of my favorite ones. This is super cheap. Yep.
Before we dive into cold emails, Kasha just had one more question about LinkedIn. Sure. She was asking about using LinkedIn groups because she said this is how people find her. And what are your thoughts on targeting businesses within LinkedIn groups?
Okay, so it's funny because daily outflow number 5 is Facebook group prospecting. So I have a whole outflow strategy for that. So I think LinkedIn groups are great, but I think Facebook groups are way more engaged. Okay, so we're going to talk about that in a minute. Okay, I want to hold that question, but we have so little time to go over this. So I just want to make sure you guys are well equipped with the strategies. So I would say, okay, look, cold email is very simple. Very simple. You need this. So you need yet another mail merge, which is a Google Sheet extension. So it's for Google Sheets, right? So here's a Google Sheet. I'm going to run a cold email for you right now. This is the cheapest and best way to do cold emails. Now, remember I told you for LinkedIn, you're doing 80 to 100 a day. That's the interval you need to do. For this one, you must do under 50 per day because you can't do too many or else Google will flag your email and then you're screwed. So we don't want that to happen. So let's just say that we have, 50 emails here, for example. I'm going to run you through how this works. So you have to create a draft. So this is my Gmail account, right? You have a draft in here. So see, it says hi, first name. Now let me go here. Look at that. It says first name. See that? Capital F, capital N. Go here. Capital F, capital N. It's the exact tag I'm using in my Google Sheet. Does that make sense? So same thing here. I came across website, right? Website, capital W, right? I came across website, right? This is the column, capital W. So it's going to pull all the websites. So it says, hi, first name. My name is Avi Grondin from Barrett's Marketing, an ROI-focused team specializing in generating more sales appointments. I came across website, which will pull this website link, okay? And I'm confident we can send some new business your way, right? We've generated 24,000 leads and 16.76 million in sales for industry. So this will pull the industry column for accounting services, which is crazy. And then for accounting services, which being founded 3 years ago, most of our clients average 60 to 100 new sales appointments per month through our work. We qualify our prospects before booking them on your calendar, blah, blah, blah. Please book it in here using my meeting link. So remember, it all ties back to the meeting link. You must have a meeting link, okay? So now that this is prepared, here's what I might actually do. I might take this another step, put another tag in here and say first name, tag. This is how you do tags. You do those double brackets. First name column, 50 new sales appointments in 30 days. Okay, that's a great subject because it's going to say Victoria, 50 new sales appointments in 30 days, right? Boom, that says hi, Victoria. Okay, so take a look at this. So now I'm going to run this merge. This is called a mail merge. So I go to, assuming I have yet another mail merge, which is a Google Sheet add-on, I'm going to go ahead and click Start Mail Merge. So check this out. What this is going to do using Google Sheets and Gmail, so you can use any Gmail account and you can use any Google Sheets, right? And this is like peanuts. This doesn't cost any money. Like this is something you guys can do on a daily basis, okay? So my plan has 1,500 emails a day, but the normal starting plan has 50 emails only per day. So look, sender name is Avi, email template, right? You guys recognize this one? So first name, Victoria, 50 new sales appointments in 30 days. So this automatically is going to pull my draft from here. This is a draft. So if I go to my email drafts, it's sitting right there. Like that's the draft, right? So I can even minimize this. That's the draft right there. It's in my drafts, right? So the idea is that you pull the draft, you click send 50 emails. Watch this, boom. Now look, I'm going to zoom in here. Watch this number go up, okay? The 0 out of 50. So it's going to take a little bit to initialize, but once it starts to send them, it's going to look, boom, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's go. Where's the 5? Where's the 6? Where's the 7? Let's go, baby. Come on. Send more emails. This is me automating my outflows, guys. Outflows equals inflows. Don't forget that, okay? Right now, literally 50 people are getting responses from me to potentially schedule a call with me. And I might get calls in the next 48 hours right from this. I'm doing this right now on the call right now, right? So this is yet another mail merge. This is how you can optimize email marketing. Now to prove to you, this is not done, okay? So we're about to go through a few more details with this one. There's a little column here that just appeared. You see that? Merge status, okay? So I'm gonna show you, once this is done, once the emails are fully sent out, you're gonna have merge status, okay? And I'm gonna wrap this up right here after the merge status. Let's just let this send. And obviously you don't want to send more than 50 because although I can send 1,500 emails, I'm not going to do that because I want my personal email to not get flagged. Okay, great. Now look, exit. Now what is it going to do? It's going to spit out a tracking report. So look, it shows me 2 people, 3 people already opened it. Look, email opened, right? Check this out. Email sent, bounced. This one bounced. So I have to check that. You should always check your list before you send it off. But look, I got 1 bounced, you know, this one opened, right? And it's going to tell me who responded and all that stuff later. So this is the merge status and this is how you track it. Now to see that these actually went out, go to your sent folder and boom. So some of them we had first names for, in which case he says, Bing, 50 new sales appointments in 30 days. Hi, Bing, book here, done. Okay, cold emailing, we're done with that. Okay, so I'm going to close that out. That is how you do. Quick
question for you.
Yep.
Can you walk everyone through how you got to that Google Sheet add-on?
Yes. Okay. So here's what you do. You just Google this, yet another mail merge. Literally click the first option, and then literally just add it to your Google Sheets extension. So it's pretty interesting. So you could do it through here, through their actual website, or what you do is you go to Google Sheets. So here, let me just open a Google Sheet, and you go to Google Sheets. This is the fastest way, actually. My bad, guys. So you open a new. Yeah.
While you're bringing that up, do you find because you're sending like so many emails from your email, are your emails ending up in people's junk or?
Yeah, that's why I stick to 50 max, right? So it's right. And remember, you have to send it from a G Suite email. So this is my email, right? Don't send it from a Gmail. Don't send it from @Gmail. So send it from your Google business account. Don't send it from this one. Don't send it from avi.grondin@gmail.com because then you're going to be screwed immediately.
With your domain at the end.
That's yes, your domain must be there. Yes. Okay. So now how do we get yet another mail merge? You go to any Google Sheet, you go to add-ons, you go to get add-ons, and then you literally search yet another mail merge in the add-ons. This is kind of like the app store for Google Sheets. So you can literally go here and type in yet another. It's right here. Okay. Boom. It's already installed. Search that up. Has 9 million installs. Just install it. Boom. Donezo. Okay. So you guys have that answered. So that's done. I really want to move on because I need to make sure you guys understand a few of these other strategies, okay? So daily outflow number 3 should be paid advertising. Now, this is a whole other spiel. I'm gonna briefly show to you. We're not gonna have time to go through this, but let me just show you just on a high level what you can do with sales funnels. So this is a sales funnel that I'm currently soliciting. I'm offering a free live training, okay, on how to get more sales appointments. Or I could offer a free live training on how to get 10 times whiter teeth. I might offer a free training on how to get 25% tax savings. It doesn't matter, okay, because you're going to run ads for people that want the training. Now, don't, correct me if I'm wrong, but if someone actually came here and it opted in for the training, what does that mean? That means they want more appointments. Am I wrong? If I was offering a training on how to get 10 times whiter teeth and you came here and opted in, that's a problem identification. I know that you want whiter teeth now. I know that you want more appointments now. Great. So come here, watch my free training, okay? So people will watch this 1 hour free training, which is great. And any moment, this free training is pretty much a sales pitch, right? So at any moment, they can book a call with me below. Book a free discovery call with Avi. They come here, they schedule it in. They see all of our testimonials as well. So they can decide if they want to schedule. This is the power of paid ads, guys. If you are ready to run paid ads, you need to have lots of testimonials ready. You need to have a good sales funnel structure, because after they come here and they book this in, here's what happens next. I'm actually telling them to fill out, after they book it in and they're on the calendar, the next step is to fill out the quiz. So they come here and they fill out their quiz on how big's their team, how much is a customer worth to them, what's their average yearly revenue. I'm asking them for a deep dive of their business after I already got the call, okay? Now, after they fill that out and they fill that deep dive out, I'm then telling them to check their email and RSVP. So I'm saying, hey guys, we book lots of these calls per day. I need you to make sure that you're not wasting any time, right? So blah, blah, blah. And then they get RSVP'd, they book that in. So that's paid advertising. Now here you're gonna have 2 things. Oops, I just clicked the wrong screen. You're gonna have 2 things. The first thing you're gonna have is cold traffic ads. These are all Facebook ads and Instagram ads coming to the page offering the free training or offering the free guide. And then after that, once they opt in, so take a look at this as well. So right when you come here and you go to my funnel to the first page from the ad, you're putting your name and your email down here, right? So look what happens when that happens. When I get your name and your email, trust me, you're not gonna like me, because I'm gonna email you every day automatically using Active Campaign, which is an automation tool. I'm going to email you every other day, showing you case studies, showing you past clients, showing you what deal flow is all about, my service, how we book our appointments. So look, once they come here and they put their name and their email, whatever that may be, they come here now and they're now getting their first email about me. Look, 4 leads are already waiting a day, and then they get their other email, right? And that's the next email with another case study. Then it waits a day. Then it sends them another email with another case study. Then it waits a day. Then sends them another email with another case study, right? So I'm nurturing these prospects not only with emails, but with ads as well. So this is more of an advanced strategy. So let's get away from this, because it's also costly to run this. This is once you've optimized the cold emailing, once you've optimized the LinkedIn, once you've optimized your cold calls, once you've optimized your Facebook group stuff, then you move on to paid ads. Okay, so let's just plow through, because it's just better to do this. So daily outflow number 4, okay, this is cold calling for the sake of referral partnerships. Okay, this is so important. Okay, you guys, let's just say I'm a mortgage agent, right? I might go to yelp.com, and mortgage agents, right? What does that mean? I'm the one like getting the realtor's client approved for the mortgage that the realtor is trying to sell the client for, right? So is it smart for me to try and, as a mortgage agent, is it smart for me to try and reach out to consumers? Or is it smarter for me to try and reach out to real estate agents and build what's called referral partnerships, so that anytime they have a mortgage client for me, I'm giving them commission. Not only am I giving them the realtor commission, but I'm also giving him a tiered commission structure. So every 5 leads he gives me as the mortgage agent, the realtor gives me 5 leads, he gets $500 a lead. Every 10 leads he gives me, he gets $1,500, whatever. It goes up, it's tiered, right? So you want to give them more to work towards. To give you perspective, when I was in Vinicci Valet, my valet parking business, I quite literally was cold emailing event planners, wedding planners every day, building referral partnerships with them. Because remember, the event planner is not the one paying for the valet. That's the client. That's the person having the wedding paying for the valet. I have to get to the event planner so that the event planner can suggest my valet company to the client, right? And so I can pay that event planner a 10% referral commission, right? Now the event planner has a reason to choose my valet company over the other one, right? Because they're getting paid not only from the client, but also from us, from the vendor. So that's what you guys want to do. So what I like to do is go on Yelp. Let's just say I was a mortgage agent, for example. We'll just keep it simple, right? So I'll go here, I'll type in more realtor. I like Yelp for cold calling purposes because it gives you a lot of reference and context, okay? So you not only get their number, you can contact the agent and all these things, but you can also see who's advertising. So you can actually see who's actually advertising on Yelp to then go ahead and suggest, hey, you need my advertising, or hey, I need you to understand that you're advertising on Yelp, but I can also pay you so that you get referral commissions through me. So you're just cold calling. Now we have certain sales scripts that we use for our cold calling. So Victoria, if they need the sales script after the call for the sake of cold calling, let me know. I'll just send it to you and you can disperse it to them, in which case now they can start building referral partnerships, which is nice, right? Because think about it, why hunt for a fish when you can literally have a conveyor belt of people referring you fish, right? So that's the idea of the cold.
Are you good to go like 5 minutes over just in case? Because this will be recorded.
I'm good to, like, I don't have, like, I'll skip whatever calls I have. Like, I want to make sure you guys are equipped with the strategies because, like, we're almost done here.
Feeling like they're getting a lot of info. And guys, I just wanted you to know that we are going to send you a recording after this. So if you do have to pop off at 1 o'clock, you've got something else going on and we happen to go over, you'll be able to play this back 100 times if you need to. All right, Abby, keep going.
Yeah. Sorry, guys. I'm really passionate about marketing. That's why I'm really serious about it. That's why I'm trying to plow through it, because I just want to equip you guys with such low-cost strategies to get you guys to this point where, hey, you can start building your sales funnel. You can start building your advertising strategy. So for the sake of low cost, right? Like, here are your options, right? You have LinkedIn Outreach, which has Salesflow, the software, mixed with Sales Navigator, which is LinkedIn Premium. And then you have yet another mail merge mixed with Google Sheets. These cost no money, but like even this, it's peanuts compared to, for example, a paid advertising funnel where you're dropping ad spend and you're, optimizing your, conversion rates and all that. This doesn't cost any money. When I first started out, I was cold calling. I was dialing for dollars out of my bedroom, So there's no excuses. Everyone in this room should be cold calling, right? It's the best way. Now, how are you going to cold call clients? No, you're going to cold call referral partners. Because if I cold call a client, sure, I'll get that client, right? Boom, I just got one sale, right? Is that one sale going to turn to another sale? Oh, maybe if I get a referral from the client. But hey, why not build referral partners and then cold call them, get that sale, convince him to sign up for my referral partnership. And then what he does is he gives me sales forever, like in perpetuity. He's like an evergreen sales rep for me that doesn't actually work for me. And he's bringing me leads. I'd rather cold call those guys, not waste my time calling one sale when I can call a guy who's going to bring me 10 sales. Make sense? So that's that. So if there's any questions about cold calling, throw those in the chat. But for the sake of this, we're going to move on because this is where it gets interesting, guys. Now, there's another process here called Facebook group prospecting. Okay, so I'm gonna skip all this stuff here and just talk about the Facebook group prospecting stuff. So let me close out yet another mail merge. Let's talk about. Let's go to a random Facebook group. Okay, so I'm gonna go to Facebook. I'm gonna go to, let's just say, I don't know. For me, like, I'm selling a course to marketers, and then I'm also selling services to service businesses, right? I'm selling done for you marketing services to these service companies, right? So I'm going to click on ClickFunnels. This is a good group for me to click on because I have lots of entrepreneurs in here that could benefit from my services, right? These guys are in this group because they don't know what the hell they're doing. That's why they're in this group. So I'm going to go to this group. It has 255,000 members, okay? Lots of blue ocean for me to reach out to all the members, okay? Now, there's two strategies when it comes to social community prospecting. There is the strategy of actually clicking on the members tab. And then what you do is you go ahead and you don't ever message the admins, never message the admins. Always scroll down to the members not near you or anything like that, just new to the group, the new members in the group, okay? You can hover over their name and you can see that she's the owner and content marketer specialist at MTM Creative Imaging & Co. Now, does that mean she's booking enough of sales appointments to drive revenue? No. So here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna click on this. I would have already had my cold email template. So let's just say I had it saved here. You know, I'd go here and grab that. Let's just say that this was the cold email template. It's not actually, but I would go in here and I'd say, hi, Kiara. Thanks for your, like, whatever I would send the normal LinkedIn one, the same one that I'm soliciting on LinkedIn. I can use that one here as well and ask them to book a call with me. And then they'd go ahead and they'd schedule that. Now, because they're in this group, I might even say something like this, right? Hold on, these are some groups that I had one of my teammates join. So I'm getting, and now I'm also gonna show you how to offload this to a low-cost teammate who can do this on a consistent basis. So that way this is automated for you, because you guys don't wanna be doing this daily. You should be doing about 50 of these a day where you're going over and you're essentially sending messages. So you go to the next one, send her a message, right? If it makes sense, right? Send the next one a message, right? Now, what I also have some of my teammates doing, I have a team of 14 people in the Philippines. So what I have them doing is, for example, Facebook group, let me just pull something up here. So this is an SOP that I've created for one of my teammates in the Philippines, to go ahead and join all these relevant groups that have to do with entrepreneurship, right? So I have her join these groups. I've actually outlined the groups for her. She's joining them all. Once she gets approved in them all, she's then doing this task. So I've built an SOP with a video training on how she can go about messaging every single person. So hover over the member's name. If they're a CEO or a founder or they're self-employed, then go ahead and message them. Click on the message button. And then that's this. And then you go ahead and send them the message template and then fill the reporting file to let us know how many messages you're sending, right? So on a high level, that's what this strategy is. Now, I also have that same teammate in the Philippines going over to the discussion section of the groups, and I have her posting. Let me see if I can find this here. I have her, anyways, I'll show this another time, but basically I have her posting in the actual groups to drive engagement so that these people will message her from the group, and then she's enticing them to book a call, right? So, and here's how you offload that, because I know a lot of you have time and money. Some of you have lots more money than you have time. Some of you have more time than you have money. If you don't have money, then do this yourselves. But if you have $200 USD, okay, per month to spend on a low-cost teammate that is going to work 40 hours a week for you full time, okay, in the Philippines. You go over here, you go to onlinejobs.ph, you post a job, okay? I already have all my job descriptions made, so I'll just open up my job descriptions folder. That was spelt wrong, so let's just say job description, right? Open up the, let's just say I wanted, I don't know, copywriter. Let's just say I wanted to hire a copywriter, right? You're not doing that. You're hiring a social community prospector who's going to go in and generate leads for you. But you have to prep the job post first. That's number one, obviously. Once you prep the job post, you then go over to online jobs and you post this. Now, onlinejobs.ph, okay? Notice that it says .ph, okay? What does that mean? This is a Filipino-only website. This is the place where you can hire teammates, okay, from the Philippines that are low cost. They cost $200 to $500 per month, okay? And that is 40 hours a week, if not more, full-time work, okay? So it's low cost, okay? And you don't need to spend on ads. You spend $200 and you have these people essentially working on your team. They're going to be healthy extensions to your business. And also you're helping them earn income and provide for their families. So it's a good exchange, right? And it's for low-cost entrepreneurs who are just getting started. You then outsource this task. You outsource the Facebook group messaging task to that person. And you explain how they do that. And then you can give them an SOP just like this, where you give them step-by-step instructions with the video link to review it. And then now you have that person going every single day. Now, am I going to go through a full job post with you on online jobs? No, because that's something that all of you can figure out on your own, right? But just so you know, online jobs at PH, that's where you get the client, that's where you get the teammates. You can hire yourself a team of 5. That team of 10 will only cost you, let's say, $2,000 a month if you're hiring a team of 10, right? So that's epic, okay?
Those Facebook messages, coming from Avi, or they're coming from this person?
Yes, it could be both. It can be both. So what you can do is you can actually do it from Avi, and you can give her your login. That's a great approach. It's one-to-one. It's very nice. I love that one the most. That's usually what I do. And then the second approach is you beef up her profile so that she looks legit. Because remember, like, I'm verified on Facebook and Instagram and all these things. So I'm able to go ahead and get more traction because of that blue tick. By the way, anyone here who needs verification, I can hook you up. We have great deals on that. But bottom line is this. So the reality is this. You want to do it from a profile that's literally beefed up, right? I have to have a good cover photo. I have to have a good like description. I have to have good content, right? So that's the account that you want to run the outreach from. So, and look, you could take the approach of, hey, I don't want to give my password away and I'd rather beef up her profile anyways because she's a teammate of mine. So let's go ahead and beef hers up and let's have her be in charge of running that and making that happen, right? So we use Elreen. Elreen's one of our teammates. Her name's Elreen Rado. She's great. She does this for us. She's amazing. I've ramped her up. So that's her doing what I just said, having her profile beefed up and her adding friends and engaging with friends and building this. It's kind of like a CRM. Like her Facebook becomes a CRM where she's upkeeping these conversations on a daily basis. Make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. Victoria, do you want to say something there?
I said, you're brilliant.
Yes, but that is because I'm passionate about this. I love doing this. This is what I do for my clients on a daily basis. This is what I get out of bed for. Like, you thought the valet business was great. That was shit compared to this. This is like what we do. And you know what I love about this? More importantly than anything, we're literally helping people that are business owners. So I get to network with business owners every day, which lots of business opportunities come out of that. And then the second thing is that I also get to help these people who've been working on their baby, right? This is their baby that they've been working on for so long, right? And I get to say, okay, look, I'm coming in, my team's coming in, let's help you build your baby, let's turn it to an adult, you know what I mean? And so the reality is this, guys, important metrics that should be tracked every day based on these outflow strategies. So we discussed Facebook group prospecting, we discussed cold calling for referral partnerships, we discussed paid advertising sales funnels, we discussed that very little bit. That's because it's not low cost, right? So then we discussed cold emails and we discussed LinkedIn outreach. Okay, you need to deploy all of those. There's no exception. Like that is what happens across all of them. Now, what should you be tracking every single day? There's 6 metrics and 6 metrics only. There's all the other metrics don't matter, right? So you should be tracking customer growth rate. How many customers are paying you? That's number 1, right? How many customers are paying you? Number 2, how many outflows are we doing per day? Is it 100 a day? Is it 600 a day? Like, outflows could be cold emails, LinkedIn messages, cold calls, right? Could be Facebook messages that you're sending on the groups. Could be anything, any outflow that's you getting your message in front of another pair of eyeballs, right? So how many of those are going out per day? Must be tracked. And that number must increase as you start to scale your revenue, right? And then as well, number of qualified leads. So these are the people, for example, Elon, right? He didn't buy yet, but he's a qualified lead. He's gone through the LinkedIn. He's booked. He's going to book a call with me. That is going to be an SQL, a sales qualified lead, in which case he's able to talk to me and we're able to go through our program together and show him how he can make more money, in which case he can decide if he wants to work with me. But that's a qualified lead, right? MQL to SQL, right? Now, daily booking rate, okay, this is a measure of how many appointments we're getting based on the number of outflows per day. Okay, so looking at the number of appointments booked divided by total outflows that day, that is your booking rate. You must have 1 to 2% booking rate. If you don't have a 1 to 2% booking rate, what does that mean? That means that your outflows are shitty and you need to revamp them because you need a 2% booking rate. Good outflows equal 2% booking rate. If you don't have 2% booking rate, switch your outflows. Make sense? That's why we track the booking rate, to make sure that the outflows are strong, right? Now, daily proposal rate, okay? Looking at the number of proposals sent divided by total appointments. So now that I have 100 appointments booked this month, how many of those 100 people, including Elon, for example, did I send a proposal to? Okay? Now, based on the proposal rate, I get to see how qualified my leads are, my SQLs. Because if half the people don't want proposals and my proposal rate is only 50% of my total appointments, that means that half the people are not qualified. So these SQLs that I'm booking, they're not qualified enough. So what do I need to do if my proposal rate is not legit? What I need to do in that case is I need to beef up the quality of appointments. So I might want to say, okay, put them through a nurture sequence, show them more case studies before they get on the call, make them fill out a questionnaire, add more friction to the process so that only people booking appointments, 100% of them are getting proposals. Make sense? So that's a metric of how good your lead quality is, right? As well, daily close rate. So this is looking at the number of deals closed divided by the total appointments, okay? So of the appointments that you've generated, not of the proposals, this is of the appointments, okay? Total appointments, right? Of the total appointments, how many are you closing? That's your close rate, okay? So these are the only things that matter. Close rate must be 30%, 20 to 30%, okay? A lot of people close at 10%, 5%, but unless you're tracking your daily close rate, you will never know what your monthly close rate is. You will never know what your yearly close rate is, okay? So track it daily. Now, here's the other thing I want to drive home, guys. You are not going to be a guru right away at this, okay? I've become a guru over the last couple of years doing this. So understand that everything starts from a root, from a seed. You're going to grow from that seed. You're going to grow up, up, up through the roots, right? Through the soil. Now, are you going to hit a rock and then stop growing? No. If you hit a rock, you're going to grow around that rock until you grow again and again and again through the soil, in which case you're then going to hit another rock and grow around that rock until you finally break the surface, right? Now, you breaking the surface is you optimizing your lead generation to a point of optimality, to a point where you have a 2% booking rate, you have a, you have a really high proposal rate, you have a really high close rate, your great outflow numbers, right? Like, these are things that make you break the surface. You're going to hit obstacles. Go around them. Don't quit. Never quit. Lead gen is all about consistency and volume. If you don't have consistency and you stop because you quit, you're not getting leads. Don't turn the faucet off. The water must always run. Even in recessions, the water must always be on. The lead gen must always be happening, because once you stop the faucet, the water stops and the leads stop and the money stops. So your goal should be to swivel your way through the soil, find the best lead generation activities for yourself, and then break the surface. That's the goal here. So, but don't be afraid if you hit a rock and then you leave, right? That's not the goal here. So, okay. Now, the other thing, you must collect case studies to become invincible, okay? You are not here, like I said, the outflows perform better if you have testimonials and case studies. So we have lots, right? That's why we're able to run our outflows more effectively, driving more appointments, because it's a flywheel. This is the revenue flywheel. You do the outflows, you get the appointments. You take the appointments, you get the sales. You take the sales, you get the case studies. You take the case studies, you throw them on the outflows. Now the whole thing's working better again, okay? As well, guys, because I hope you like the presentation, what I want to do now is offer you guys free knowledge. So I've actually prepped a 6-hour course completely free, and that's here for you guys to take a look at. If you go to dealflowblueprint.com/free course, I will tell you how to structure your bank accounts. I'll tell you how to do lead gen. I'll tell you how to hire the team. I will tell you how to delegate tasks, what suggested softwares you need, how to manage by statistics, what the 5-step sales process is to scale. I go through all those things, so you can go there. As well, guys, you can reach me on Facebook or on LinkedIn or Instagram. These are the only platforms I check. I do never check Facebook. If you have questions, concerns, add me, shoot me the question. I'd love to engage with you. I'd love to help you free of charge. There's no catch. Let's just network with each other. Shoot me a message and let's get that going. And I hope you guys got value from this presentation. Thank you so much to City Moguls. And CIBC for that matter as well for throwing this event. And yeah, guys, I really appreciate it. I hope you gain value. And if there's any questions, like, we can open the floor now for those questions now, or you guys can DM me, whatever you prefer.
Thanks, Avi. This has been amazing. We cannot